Alright, Trekyeah, we're sitting here in our Malaysia apartment, or Airbnb, and we've got some stuff to tell you. Firstly, we got here, the room situation is, what do you call that?
Imbalanced.
Sure, yeah.
Severely imbalanced.
There's one room that actually sucks. There's another room that's pretty good. There's another room that's absolutely amazing. So we're like, how are we going to do this? We decided to do a random number generator, and we each assigned each other a number.
I didn't want to do that.
Anyways, I got the good room. You can obviously tell who got the shitty room.
I got the Goldilocks room, and all the pressure's off me.
Yeah.
What, you guys got a story to tell or something?
Yeah.
How about it?
I guess I'll start. Where we left you last month, I traveled across the world to chase my ex-girlfriend who had a boyfriend. So
pretty cool story.
Yeah, so that didn't work out. But it did work out, you know, like I gave it my shot, and I could move on. And move on I did. So went on a couple dates, and one of them was this pretty cool girl who I then freaked out. I was like, oh, I can't do this. I got so much pressure. And I tried to end things before I had like 2 weeks left in Saigon at this point. And so I was like, tried to end things, tried to pull the ripcord, and she didn't let me. I remember I called these guys. I was like, yeah, like I tried to like end things with her, and she didn't let me. And Andy was like, what do you mean? That's not like how it works. I was like, you'll see. She's coming to Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, she came and visited. She's a sweetheart.
She's super cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she came and visited. She's coming back in like a week, in 11 days, 10 days.
You can try to break up
again.
And
yeah, I was thinking so. I was planning to try it again, but I
shut down.
I was pulling this long joke about maybe we'll live in Colombia, and I accidentally booked us an Airbnb.
So I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so maybe we'll make it through Christmas, you know. So yeah, I met this girl a month ago, and in January we're gonna go live in Colombia for a month. So it's gonna be sick. It's cool.
Should be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm not worried.
For how much of a melting pot Malaysia is, because it is like the melting pot of Asia, or Southeast Asia at least. It's also very Western. For example, we all got our hairs cut at a mall, and then we took an Uber back, and she put some Nickelback on, and we all four of us, the three of us and our Uber driver, we sang Nickelback together as she drove us home, and we had a really great time. We were singing not only Nickelback, we were singing some other classics.
For those of you who are curious, it was "How You Remind Me" by Nickelback. That were their first hits.
Yeah. Very
also,
nice.
That album was the first CD I ever purchased.
No.
Yeah. I walked into Target. I looked. I grabbed the CD. I was like, I want this one. Nickelback, Silver Setup, bitch.
Okay. Mine was Bugdum too.
Bugdum too.
So yeah, it's pretty Western here.
Yeah, getting haircuts has really been one of the biggest things we've done as a unit.
As a unit, true.
In the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was a trip. Other than that, we just kind of get our food delivered, whether it's groceries,
good ass
delivered
food
to our
too,
apartment, or good ass food.
Yeah.
We're normally we're in walking distance of at least a restaurant or two, but here is a little. Like, we're in a good location, but just immediately next to our building, there's not very much.
Yeah.
There's like a couple car dealerships, so we're kind of screwed. So we've been ordering food pretty much every other meal.
Plus, we've been thinking about that Toyota-thon deal.
Yeah, dude, walking by the Toyota-thon every day.
They won't last long, those deals.
Yeah.
The best of the season.
Yeah, even, I mean, to give another example of how Western it is here, I don't know if this is Western, but everybody speaks English. Even the guys who deliver our roti canai.
The English here
I can
incredible.
confirm that's Western.
Okay.
Yeah. The English here
I mean,
is
like
incredible.
Hong Kong and shit, but... It could be Eastern too, because if you go, I mean,
If you just go the
to
other way,
fly home,
it's like
we
a
go
ball.
east. Yeah.
Like the world's like a ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I didn't think about that. Something else that's pretty Western, actually,
Eastern?
just American.
Okay.
Thanksgiving happened. Well, we didn't really do anything for Thanksgiving.
We didn't do anything.
No,
Walker
we-
and I ordered poke bowls, and we were like, well, it's Thanksgiving, let's just order a bunch of extra food, which we still didn't even really do.
Oh, we got some chicken wings and some crispy shrimpies.
Ooh,
Yeah.
some shrimpies.
Some shrimps.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I went on a date with an absolute cutie. So, and we gave thanks. I was like, hey, I didn't even realize it's Thanksgiving. You know what we do on Thanksgiving? Blah blah blah. So we did that. Date went terribly, obviously. But we kind of had a little bit of Thanksgiving. At least your birthday felt like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So my birthday was on the 24th, which is like 2 days after Thanksgiving. And a friend I made here in Malaysia, Leanne, she surprised me and brought in, it took like all four of us to bring all this stuff up, and she made this insane hot pot. So we had a pseudo Thanksgiving birthday breakfast for dinner.
All right.
It was hot pot, which was really good.
Fish noodles, pork, flaps,
Crispies.
All sorts of meats.
fish
Greenies.
balls,
Greenie
Greenie
Juniors.
Juniors even.
And like, it's been 3 days in our
Tofu cubes, French toast tofu, French
Yeah,
tofu.
Little
Right.
tiny eggs.
We were stuffed, and we still have a bunch of leftovers in the fridge, so that's about as close as you can get to Thanksgiving as you can get to Thanksgiving.
That's true. That's true.
That's very true. I was cheersing him for his birthday and I shattered his beer glass like I do. I don't know if anyone here, someone watching might have been in Oktoberfest with us in Saigon, and they'll have flashbacks of me shattering everyone's mugs.
Yeah. I have cuts on my thumb from it, but I found out that I still bleed.
Let me
so.
see that.
That's his typing
Oh,
thumb.
So I feel kind of free
It's your
now.
spacebar thumb too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. My trackpad thumb.
Oof. Sorry, buddy.
Sucks, so I'm probably not going to be able to work for a week.
Workers' comp.
But we'll go back to my friend Leanne. So Leanne is a girl that I met. I met her one night at a bar, not at a bar, at dinner. And that night, it was a Friday night, and she was like, we talked about how I travel and whatever. How I travel. I don't know. I like to travel, I
How
guess.
you live in apartments in different cities around
Right.
the world.
I guess the main thing is that I work online. She was like, well, have you ever been to Penang? And I was like, no. She's like, well, I'm going this weekend for a wedding, and I could give you a ride down there if you want to explore Penang. You'll probably have to stay in a hostel and maybe figure it out. You don't really have any plans, but I could drive you there and back, and you could hang out there for 2 or 3 days. I was like, holy cow, I just met you.
Holy cow.
Holy cow, I just met you, but let's do it. So I went on an impromptu trip to Penang and ate all sorts of Penangese food. Yeah, no, that was really cool.
Penangite?
And you know, Thanksgiving.
Penang.
This is the first weekend here, but it had me feeling super thankful. I got a jump start on Thanksgiving because like I just found myself at the end of this like long dock in the middle of Penang by myself, like taking pictures of the skyline and this thunderstorm and lightning. It wasn't raining on me, but it was like off in the distance. I was getting the super picturesque shot. And I was like just feeling real happy about how, you know, like I have this job where I can just, you know, 8 hours notice go to Penang for a weekend and take photos, and you know, these guys don't care. My business partners don't care because I can still get everything done. And so that was really cool.
Oh, they got dog-sized lizards here.
Yeah.
Monitor lizards. They're always swimming around the river near us.
Yeah.
I haven't like encountered one yet, but apparently they just run away from you when you do. So you don't gotta worry, Walt.
Okay, I'm still worried. We're on the 24th floor, and you look down and you can see them. You can see them like in detail. They're huge.
They're really big.
They're huge, and they're floating around just like fat cats in the river, getting fatter while everyone else suffers. You know?
Corporate pigs, dude.
These monitor lizards, more like admin lizards, right? Like, I've played no basketball this month.
I haven't skateboarded
True.
once.
Yeah, dude, we haven't been skating.
So my investments at this point are pretty much zero.
So something we did on Thanksgiving, though, was we made a list of the things we were thankful for. And you might have seen it on our Instagram story, but if you didn't, you're going to want to stay tuned for this. So we'll talk about kind of the biggest things we're thankful for.
If you did, you can just skip this part again. This should be a pretty short trekking.
This is going to be the premium version of our thank yous. So, you got the first one, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's the one at the top.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, right. The one with my name on it, number 1, circled, underlined. I'm thankful for how I was raised in my childhood and my family, because without them, there's a pretty good chance that I would be an asshole in life. And you come across those people and you think to yourself, man, that person is a dickhead. Just in general, they don't want good things for people. They're, et cetera, et cetera. And if I had that person's upbringing, I would probably be very similar. So, some Hail Marys or something. It's Thanksgiving, y'all.
What do you mean?
I'm grateful.
I give my parents. They they gave me everything to this point. Like what they had, they gave me everything, and they gave me all the tools I needed to be where I'm at, and they gave me not only that, but they gave me their support. Really, they gave me they were so encouraging of me going to the other side of the world and living out here. And my plan was to do that for years, and they gave no signs that they had any hint of wanting me to be home. Almost to a point where oh gee, you guys really want to
here I go.
Hey, going again. And I would just kind of go outside and look in the window. They'd be just hanging out,
celebrating.
No, I'm just kidding. They're divorced. But it was until this past year being home that they really showed that they do. It's not as always been as easy as they show for them to let their son go on the other side of the world.
Right.
Of course, they miss me, and they worry, and they've done the right thing by encouraging me to be out here and get settled without kind of pulling me back. So for that, I'm so thankful.
Yeah, it'd be a lot harder to do without.
My parents traveled when we were younger, so they were, I think, more open than most people's parents are, their kid taking off and going to the other side of the world. So that was really cool, and they've always, been interested in it and supported me through it. So I share a lot of those feelings and, sacrificing for us. So I've always been very thankful for that, me and all my siblings.
Yeah. I'm thankful for, having friends, both these guys as my friends and business partners, and also the other couple friends that I have, for encouraging me to be myself. And when I
well, with Garrett, it's always a little bit quid pro quo,
yeah, give and take, you mean?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Garrett, if you're watching this, you gotta ask us about this inside joke we have about you. It's so good.
But yeah, just people encouraging me to be myself, and I think in this past year, I've really led with my heart. I've followed my heart, being out here right now, and the past 2 months and stuff has been following my heart, and not being afraid, when I get knocked down, when I take a loss, when I take a blow, not covering up and protecting my heart, but putting it back out there. And I think that it's really done me well, and it's been, a lot of that is having that support system around me, talking to people and being like, hey, and then they're like, yeah, fucking go for it, dude. Like all this shit, you know. So that's sick.
Yeah.
And I'm a beast.
I got a note on here about smiling till I cry. If you've been following the Trekking series, you'll be familiar with the storyline this year that it's been Trekyeah. It's a big year of heartbreak. Oof, across the board.
Yeah.
You're looking at 3 heartbroken boys over Q3.
Yeah,
right?
the tough Q3.
Tough Q3.
Yeah.
Personally, the business is fun.
Business is killing it. though.
Yeah. Thank God. Jesus Christ.
But no, the last 2 weeks since we got to KL, there's been a lot of moments where it's turned me on.
Turn up.
No,
Nice, right?
no,
Hell
the
yeah.
trajectory went from down to up, and like some stuff we've done, meeting people here. I found out my brother's having a kid. A lot of stuff has just made me really happy.
We're gonna go by Uncle Jay.
I'm gonna go by Uncle JD. So I'm the jury duty genius.
So good.
But it's after being sad the last 3 months. When something awesome has happened, it's just that much sweeter. So I've had several moments where I've been so happy.
So crap.
So crap and happy that I've crap and cried a little tears. So thankful for those times.
So good.
Except
Right.
You know, you need it all. You need the sadness, you need
Right.
the happiness, you need the joy, you need the hungry, and like the mix between like when you're hungry and horny and angry, hungry, horny, angry. That triangle.
right in the tumbler.
Right, the combat triangle.
You need it all.
Horny beats hungry, hungry beats tired. What about
pretty
English
good.
and Malay?
Oh yeah, I'm thankful that
We talked about that one.
it's
yeah.
so easy to communicate here. I'm also not thankful that all the cab drivers speak English, because usually when we're in an Uber,
Right,
we
got
say
some crazy
we can say
conversations
ridiculous
going.
stuff.
And sometimes
like,
it's like, man, if this guy spoke English,
yeah, he
weird.
would be absolutely petrified. But here we gotta kind of be chill in cabs, which is
Be normal, if you will.
yeah, you gotta be normal as
just
well.
not talk about that
It
stuff.
can be tough sometimes when you've been living in places where nobody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
Jason, cost of living?
Oh yeah, just basically that we're able to start a business over here, because most of the times you start a business you have to do it from your parents' garage or basement or something like that. But since the cost of living in Asia is cheaper, we're able to do some traveling while we work 60 hours a week, which is really cool.
And I think part of that, like that, I'm thankful for that too, I guess. But
Oh, nice.
I just want to throw in something like, I feel like if we were starting it at home, there'd be so many more pulls of
Right.
like, man, this kind of sucks. We're grinding it out in our parents' garage. Nice of our parents to all come together and pool into a garage for us, but that's a joke. But you know what I'm saying? Is
That's something people, I think, don't quite understand, and that we've done a bad job of showing, is that this is distinctly, certainly business first.
Yeah.
Travel is a long shot of a second down there. We are living in a different city every month or something, but it's often like this is our little monastery where we go away and hole up and build our business at. We just do it in different places.
Right. Oh, we can stay sane.
That's why I made the joke about Jason. You're thankful that you can travel or something. I was like, yeah, I live in apartments around the world.
Right.
We don't leave this place. We order all of our food here.
Yeah,
But-
and it's almost seems like we're window shopping at times, because like we'll live in KL for a month, but we'll see almost none of it. But it's definitely still cooler than having to do all that from home.
Yeah.
Even we get to
And-
see a little bit of KL.
And we can feel like if we were back home, we wouldn't feel. I think it's a lot more fulfilling to be living the lifestyle we are out here, where like we have this nice apartment. We're able to not be washing our clothes in the sink, Jason.
Oh well, there's a stain.
Yeah,
curry,
it's all
curry
right.
stain. But I think you were getting at this, being away from home and the polls, right? So like, you know, every Tuesday Jared has a soccer game that I want to go to, or, you know, there's all
every other weekend there's a friend's birthday,
right?
And then there's all the holidays that everyone celebrates there, but we don't take so seriously.
And like
here.
we love those things, but we can't work 60 hours and say yes to everything, and saying no is the really hard part about like being at home. And I remember I was home for about a month over the summer, and I kept thinking towards the end of the month, like I can't wait to get back to Asia so I can focus. And it's just like so weird that it's like, and now in my head it's like I can focus when I'm in the other side of the world. And it's because, you know, like I moved into an apartment in KL and I've been here for 2 weeks. Nobody in this city knows who I am. Nobody's gonna ask me to do anything. So I have no polls.
And, you know, while we don't see, you know, we don't like really soak up the culture, you could say, we do, like Bangkok, there's a certain part of Bangkok that I have a very good feel for.
Yeah.
There's a certain part of like Da Nang. I have a good feel for all of Da Nang. Like I love that place. You know, so it's not like we're so much always holed up in the spot. It's not.
And even KL, like Bangsar and Trek, KLCC, there's certain places where we know them a little bit. We've gotten to experience them.
Yeah.
What I was really talking about pole-wise is like I feel like if we were at home grinding out, there would be a lot more exit ramps of like, no, it's kind of tough. Well, hey, your Uncle Joey has a job over at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You could do some bookkeeping for him, you know? It's like, yeah, I guess I got to do that. You know, whereas out here, like I remember last July, July 2017, right when we were getting started, and it was before Jason came out. It was a down month, District 9.
Yeah, D9 was gnarly.
And like really, like I was broke. I had to borrow from Andy and Evan to make rent. Like if I could have made it home, I could have found like credit carded a plane ticket or something, but like it was that by being on the other side of the world, luckily I had failed but was able to keep going, whereas if I was back home at that point, like, well, but luckily I didn't have enough money to get home. So
you had to make it work.
Burn the boats.
Burn the boats, for sure.
Yeah.
We keep one of them, just in case.
Yeah, keep your friends.
Right. Long story short, we're thankful for the cost of living out here and the things it affords us to do. My brother, I'm thankful for my brother because he was a really great influence on me. One, at the beginning of my childhood, of learning kind of what not to do in certain situations, because he's always kind of a troublemaker, but you know, he did things his own way and always has. And you see that growing up, and it's, you know, he's done a lot of really cool things in his life and had a really fun life. And as a younger brother who, you know, you always look up to your older brother, it's like, wow, you know, life can be a lot of fun. You can do some really cool stuff if you want, you know, you don't really have to do the same old thing. So he was probably the one who, through his actions, got that point across more than anyone else has. So I'm very thankful for that. And also, I'm thankful for my garden I had as a kid, because rolling around in Iowa and your feet in the dirt, I haven't put my feet in the dirt and goddamn. So thanks whoever. Thanks Mom.
The last one I got on here is photography. I guess that one is like because I enjoy photography, it gets me out more. Like when we're gonna go post on our Instagram and it's like, oh, we have no photos. Oh, I have to go take photos. They go take photos. I have to go do something. And sometimes when we get really zoned in and focused on work, and we don't do anything for like a week straight, then we're like, oh, we have to go take photos. So that'll kind of pull us out. And going to take photos has led me to have a lot of cool experiences that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. So I'm
like
thankful.
What?
Like dang.
Save it for the trek.
So it actually.
Greetings, this is the November Trek-In, and my notes are here. You may be wondering, if it's the November Trek-In, why is there a Christmas tree behind me? Well, that's because Christmas can never come too soon. Actually, it's because my stepmom loves Christmas. But so do I. So, you know, obviously you just saw probably a super fun, engaging, exciting trek-in with 3 of my good friends who I'm very jealous of that they get to be together. It is not fun to see them having the fun that they're having. Grass is greener scenarios. But I'm very lucky to be here at home with my family in the United States of America. Although I will say, without a doubt, the weather is better in Malaysia. There's no grass is greener. It's straight up greener. It's more green in Malaysia. So at that point, Walker would make fun of how stupid of a joke that was, and it would be really funny. And that's why having us together is actually really important for Trek-in Dynamics, because when one of us tells a bad joke, we can't roast the person who just told the bad joke. So you can see therein lies the issue of doing a solo Trek-in. You get to see me fully exposed and not funny. So here we go, guys. So as you saw in the last Trek-in, still weddings galore. Okay, I had 2 more weddings this month. One was my good friend Brad Smith from high school. That was a lot of fun. We went to the casino. I lost $60 on the roulette table. Roulette's my thing, at least it was once. But definitely at this point, I think I'm at least break even, almost negative, as I lost $60 on the roulette table that night. I went to another wedding in Ohio. This was like a whole trip I got to do out to visit my family in. So we have a side of the family that's over in Ohio, where I believe it was our one of my great grand uncle. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, great. No, you say grand. Yeah, no, okay. So my grandpa's sister. Is that my great aunt? So it would be my great aunt? Anyway.
My great aunt. She married an Italian who was a part of the Italian community in Ohio, in Columbus. And so I just had this huge Italian family over there. And they had a Thanksgiving celebration, but one of the bigger things was one of the Italian cousins was getting married. So I got to go to this Italian wedding, which was just such a unique experience. I would say it was weird because, like, you know, our family, like, we have Belgian heritage, but never have we, like, been super like, always, like, very proud of it, you know, like in Irish or Scottish or Italian, you know, although of course we're proud of it, we talk about it from time to time. It's like going over there and seeing just how proud they are of their heritage and how they've, like, really tried to keep their culture with them is just really interesting. A lot of them still speak Italian, and those that don't speak Italian speak at least a little bit of Italian. Actually, and they all make efforts to go to Italy and visit the family they have left over in Italy, which is weird for... It's just weird, but it was so cool to see just how, like, closely tied they were to their roots. There was actually some Italians that are related to them that had come to go to the wedding. I couldn't talk to them; they didn't really speak English. But like, all of them have Italian names. There's Santino, Mario, Luciano, Carmen, Dominic. Lots of French names, or French. Holy heck! I don't even know my own family. Lots of Italian names. So that was just a super cool experience. Now, probably the most jarring story from that wedding was, so I think I've mentioned it, I'm quite the wedding dancer. Lots of sweat, okay? I'm sweating a lot because I'm really laying it all out on the dance floor, okay? So, anyway, I'm sweating up a storm. Anyway, at this wedding, I've learned, this is like my 7th wedding of the season, you know, I figured it out. I just need to be slow, I need to drink lots of water, you know, like, it's a marathon, it's not a race, right? Gotta take my time. So take those periodic breaks, cut down the sweat, take your jacket off, I learned that one the hard way. So I was doing good there, but when I was doing, you know, I was getting low, okay, you know, like, when they say get low, well, they don't know my low, because as I was getting low, I actually straight up ripped my pants, like, straight up down the seam, like, no joke, like, from here to here, straight up rip right down the butt there. So yeah, that happened. Fate would have it, I wasn't wearing my thong, so I was actually wearing boxers, so that worked out. Well, in that scenario, you know, what do? Do you keep dancing? Or, like, what do? You know? Well, I did what the only self-respectable man could do, and I kept dancing. So I danced for, you know, another hour with my ripped pants. Maybe it was 30 minutes. Okay, let's be honest here. And then we went out after that, and I was just walking around with these ripped pants, but, you know, whatever, man. You gotta live and die by the ripped pants. You've seen that SpongeBob episode where he rips his pants. Actually, the first time he rips his pants, it's cool, it's funny, everybody likes it. But I think I have to worry about doing it again, because that's when people are like, okay, dude, like, it's not cool. But this first time, I think everyone thought it was cool. So that worked out. Other than that, I mean, just lots of work. It was tough juggling, you know, because we do e-commerce stuff. So juggling like Black Friday with the Thanksgiving family time. Like, I definitely didn't give the attention Black Friday should have had, as far as like if I want to be a successful entrepreneur. Not that I disregarded it, but I know that I could have done better had I not been so focused on family. So there's that balance you always got to look for. The other guys talked about what they were thankful about. I have no idea what they said, so I'm just going to kind of shoot some things out there. I'm thankful that we have a holiday like Thanksgiving, where we have time to be, an allocated time to be thankful. Because we don't spend enough time in our lives thinking about what we're thankful for and really appreciating it. And it's so cool to have a designated time for that. But not only that, is it a time to reflect on what you're thankful for. That's super sick that we have that. I think it's also just so cool to have a holiday where all your family gets together. You know, we have a couple of those throughout the year. And I think it's just we're so lucky to have things like that. And you know, it makes me think, there's this really interesting like article. It's about like the perspective of how many events are left in your life. So like, you know, if you are my age, 24 years old, how many Thanksgivings will you have with all of your family together, right? Like, so I have a family of 7. There are 5 siblings, 2 parents here in this household. So in my lifetime, how many more Thanksgivings will I have? And I wasn't here for this one, right? So this one doesn't even count, but I was in Ohio with that family. How many more Thanksgivings will I have with this family all together, all 7 of us, right? So maybe we can assume that over the next 20 years, I can make 50% of the family Thanksgivings. I make 50% of them, but what percentage of those is everyone going to make it? You know, there's all these things that go into that. But anyway, let's say I can go, like when you put it that way and you know that there's all these variables you're dealing with, then it's like, okay, well maybe I can guarantee I'm going to go to 10 more family Thanksgivings, 10. And then you realize like, okay, well 10, those go by pretty quick. You know, that's 10% of all the Thanksgivings you've ever been to. And say, you know, let's say, and it's kind of a bad example, Thanksgiving's a bad example, but you know, all the Thanksgivings I've been to so far with everyone here, right? My record's a bit different because I had divorced parents, but let's assume that I didn't have divorced parents and that we were all here together, right? So I was here for every Thanksgiving with all family members, right? So let's count from 0 to 24. So we got 24 Thanksgivings I was around for. But now it's only going to get harder to be around for those the rest of my life. So we're assuming that 10. So it's like I've already been to 66% of all the Thanksgivings I'll ever be to. And so that number's only going to get smaller. So just being thankful for that time together with your family. And how many more Christmases will you all be together? Like all of those factor in, you know, how many, anyway, you got to be thankful for that time that you have together. I'm thankful for opportunity. I'm thankful that we're in a society that takes opportunity for granted, because that's what makes it easier on people who aren't taking it for granted. I think all of us naturally take opportunity for granted, and it takes a bit more effort to not take it for granted. On a daily basis, I take opportunity for granted on a daily basis, but I do think on like a larger scale, I think I try to do my best to take advantage of opportunity. And not take it for granted. So I guess I'm thankful for opportunity, but I'm also thankful that there are people who take it for granted, because that means more opportunity for me. So, and my friends too, you know, my partners. I'm thankful for people. If I didn't have people, I'd go insane. Because if there was no people, then no one could listen to me. And all I ever do is talk, so I'd go wild. I'm thankful for Malaysian food. Even though I didn't get to eat that much of it. I'm thankful for just the whole fusion over there. I'm thankful for Mexican food. I'm thankful for Shania Twain. More specifically, I'm thankful for I'm Gonna Get Ya, if that's the title of that song, Shania, if you're listening. It's probably not the song. My brothers used to run around the house and listen to that, so anyway. I'm thankful for a lot of stuff, but in general, my update here is, you know, I've been living at home. We're done cutting the thankful segment onto what's happening next. I'm going to be here for at least the next month, and then from there, we're going to be definitely a little over the next month, and then mid-January, I'll probably be hopping somewhere. Don't know where yet, but for now, my big goal is to make sure that I'm not taking my time here for granted. Being here for 3 months, it's easy to be like, to feel like, you know, it's just easy to like wish the time away, you know? I mean, like the first 2 months, it's all about being really excited about being home, but as that time goes further, it's easier to wish the time away. And so I need to work on not wishing the time away and enjoying every day, and yeah. So, anyway, I'm thankful for you guys, for anybody who even watches this. Thanks, Dad. I'm thankful for my friends that are across the globe right now. Couldn't do a lot of the things I do without them. I'm thankful for Andy. I don't know if you know this origin story or not, but Andy's the whole reason any of us even did anything. We were all going to do normal stuff, and Andy was like, hey, I'm going to do this cool thing. And we're like, that sounds like it's too crazy. But then over time, it percolated, and we were all like, sure, dude, let's do it. So I'm thankful for Andy. I'm thankful for Andy's parents, because they brought that wonderful soul into the world. I'm thankful for Walker's parents, even though they're liberal. I'm thankful for Jason's parents. I'm thankful. I was trying to think of a food that they had made, or his mom had made for us in college, because Jason was my roommate in college. Anyway, I'm absolutely droning now. I'm thankful that I have natural dance moves, of course, and I'm thankful that I haven't lost my hair yet, but will. Anyway, have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a wonderful holiday. Perhaps you'll see this Christmas tree in Trekyeah number, whatever it's going to be. Happy holidays. What are you thankful for?